long time coming, but let's review this then. Because I forgot to ever review it in the first place. All them years ago. It is, apparently anyway, the Samsung Ecobubble F500 series WF80 series washing machine. Model number WF80F5U4W-EU. I bought this from auction 8 years ago. Near enough. So I've had it for 8 years. It's actually around 11 years old, this machine, which is very old for a Samsung. But of course, because I've owned it, a couple of things, obviously. How I use it means that the spider hasn't managed to deteriorate, and two, how little washing it does. That's why it's also still here. So obviously I bought it, started to use it straight away, filming for the channel years ago. The amount of views that I got from it, and to be fair also helped the channel grow, is absolutely outstanding. Now I did put it up for sale at one point, pretty much maybe a couple of months after first buying it. The reason why I'd never sold it, partly because of the price, but mostly because I did see how popular the machine was. And then I thought about it, and then I thought, nah, I'm going to keep it for the future. So, it's still here. What I then did was then decided to use it in a couple of wash races against a lower end Samsung in the workshop, the first workshop, and then put it away for 6 years to never use it again until recently. And it's only recently I've dragged it back out and put it in some more wash races. And then I kind of re-looked on the channel and then realised that I hadn't filmed quite a lot of the cycles. I may have done, they may have never been actually officially edited. So, them cycles that were never recorded will be filmed and have been filmed, will be edited and will be uploaded to the second channel at some point. Of course, you're going to see this video as a review and more wash races in the future with this machine. A lot of wash races, so stick around if you want more Samsung Ecobubble action, including this against the 2019 version I've also got, and of course the Series 5 and the older diamond drum I've also got. Not the original diamond drum, the silver one, of course. Anyone's been around that long. Right. The price when this was new, depending where you went, but you could buy this 8kg 1400 spin model off AO for $449 at the time, which was pretty much where the cheapest retailer was. I think other places such as Curry's, I think, were selling it for around $449 and $529, depending on where you went. You could buy this, you could buy the lower load size versions. Of course, there was the 7kg and the 6kg versions, which are all in the manual for some reason. Don't know why, because I didn't get anywhere near as many programs, but they were there. I had the 7kg version, and that was a brush motor. They also did a 9kg rebadge of this, which isn't in the instruction manual for some reason, for the 9kg, and yet it's exact, just a complete rebadge. It's just 8 crossed out and 9 written down. That's all that does. And that was about 30 quid extra. You also got an A+++ energy rating for the machine. Yeah, so much so, I didn't realise this, it's still up here. Show me. Look at that! The little sticker's still there. There it is. A++, 8kg, B energy spin, 53 decibels during washing, 74 decibels on its final spin. Obviously this is a 2010 label, 2014 made machine. I'll show you why in a minute. No, it was 2014, so this was very early on. So because of how they measured things back in the day, this is a 56cm deep machine. But in truth, to the door, it's 61cm deep. Yeah, that's really annoying, really annoying. And it's that 5cm difference. This only juts up by about 1cm, the door. So where's the other 4cm come from? Well, the entire cabinet is curved. Yeah, it's curved from front, you know, from bottom to top. It curves out. Very distinctive, makes Samsung look a little bit different to the rest of the market. It's alright, it's nice. Height wise, it stands 86cm, but take half a centimetre off because the feet are twiddled out. But that means it does still stand around 10mm higher than normal than the rest of the washing machines at the time, such as like this Insit right next to it, which was also odd at the same time. So just bearing it in mind when you do buy one and trying to fit it under your kitchen cabinets. At the bottom, that's our drain flap, so we can empty the filter if we wish. There you go. We've also got an emergency drain hose as well. It's also yellowed. It was white when I got the machine, but it's yellowed since it's been in storage. Yeah, and trust me when I say this, that's quite normal for Samsungs to yellow at this age. I've seen far worse than that. That's of course if Samsungs have made it to be 11 years old. Right, so we've got this door design. It is a bit scuffed down here. Always been scuffed since the day I bought it. All of them years ago. Door handle is behind here. It's got grooves to put your fingers in. Pull that open. It's quite weird design. You sort of got like this sort of plastic overlay over the top of like a white outer door. Strangely though, the graphite ones didn't get this. They just got a pure chrome one, which was really weird. You know, in terms of why didn't they just get a graphite version of the door? But never mind. Got our door seal. Now, strangely, when this was bought, this was horrendously covered in mildew, dirt, whatever. It had been used on the 15-minute wash for its entire 3 years, and it was absolutely horrendous and disgusting. Now, it did all wipe off. We have now got a little bit of mould because when I put it away, I'd never emptied the filter. Unfortunately, over 6 years, it had been shut up for that. Well, it'd been shut for 4 years before I opened the door, realising it had never been opened, the filter. So, yeah. Unfortunately, but at least that's not too bad, which also suggests because this was boil washed before it was ever put away, that there may still be dirt still hidden away amongst crevices inside the tub somewhere. Well, that's pretty good. This is also our diamond drum. We've got 3 big drum paddles in it. We've got this sort of wave diamond version, can we see, with small holes. Whole point of diamond drum is to reduce snagging and protect your clothes. Also, it acts a bit like a washboard as well because of the little dips upwards like that. So when your clothes crash down, they crash onto these little dips, which then brush the dirt off. Or supposed to, in theory. Right, so drum volume. Yeah. Is 63 litres. 63 litres regardless of whether the 8 kilo or the 7 kilogram variant. As for the 9 kilogram variant later on, that would have been a rebadge. But this is later on, so I think that came out 2015. This is obviously 2014 model, would have been not quite top of the range. The sign models would have been a bit more top of the range, but they would have been using the older display and everything, so. Also got a little diagram here. It's got the QR code here that will take you to the Samsung site. Right, so I've got Ecobubble here, technology, and that is basically a pump. It pumps oxygen basically back through the sump and into the water, which activates your detergent quickly, creates a foamy cushion. It basically activates on pretty much all cycles to speed up both washing and make sure all detergent is used, so none of it is wasted. 8 kilogram, obviously low capacity. Also down here it will say standard 40-60 program using a carton 40 or 60 degrees with the intensive option. Basically, that's how you select the Carton Eco Standard to get the A+++ energy rating for the machine. So turn it on, jingles, it will always go to the last program used. Now this is because it has actually been set somewhere. It does have a memory function in that way, where it will remember what setting you last used. It can be deactivated. Anyway, we'll start at the top. If you'll get this machine for the first time, it will preset to cottons. Also, cottons is designed for washing a full load of normal soiled cotton laundry. So it's 2 hours 54, but that is for a full load. It will weigh the load right at the start. It will detect from a full load, a half load, or a quarter size load. And it will then take off time and lower the rinse level depending on the size of that load. So typically speaking, if it's got a small load in, a Carton 40 cycle will take around an hour, 15 hour 20, something like that. Right. You can also change the temperature using temp. So we've got 95. If you go to 95, it will automatically add on an additional rinse. And that's because it's part of the cool down section of the cycle. Normally you get intermediate spins after the any other temperature, but on 95 after the cool down it won't do an intermediate spin, so that's why it will automatically add on an extra rinse. So you've got cold, 20, 30 and back to 40 again. You can change how many rinses you want, from up to 5 or as little as 1, except for 95, which will select a minimum of 2. Right, we've also got variable spin here. 1400 RPM is our maximum spin speed for this model. We can have rinse hold, which will still do all the intermediate spins, then we'll do rinse hold function. Drain only, you'll still do all the intermediate spins and then we'll drain after the final rinse and then switch off. Then obviously we've got 400, 800, 1200 and 1400 RPM variable spin options for how fast you want it to go. We've got this easy iron function here. What that will do is cancel all the intermediate spins, raise the water level, and we'll do a graduated final spin on on all the cycles that it's selectable on. Spin speed will be reduced to 800 RPM automatically by the option. Obviously you can have 400 RPM if you wish, and on some models you can have 600 RPM, which is selectable. We've got options down here. Now it has 3 and it goes through them. So we've got soak, which will add on a 30-minute soak phase, 13 minutes into any cycle. So it will soak the load first with the detergent, with Ecobubble on, and then we'll go into soak phase. And what it'll do, it will tumble every 5 minutes for 1 minute for half an hour before continuing with the rest of the wash, heating up to the desired temperature and washing at normal speed. We've got intensive option. This has 2 functions. So on all normal cycles, including most of the cotton temperatures, and anywhere else where it's selectable, it will add on either 10 or 20 minutes of wash time on top, just basically to give a better wash for items that are heavily soiled. So if you select Cotton 60 and then you select So if you select intensive on the Cotton 60 program, you'll notice two things. One, the time massively jumps up by an hour and a half, and two, a rinse is actually dropped from 3 rinses to 2 automatically. Now you can put that back on if you want, but essentially what it will now do is run the Eco Cotton standard cycle with an A+++ energy rating at a lower temperature than 60. So just be aware of that. On any other cycle, intensive just adds on 20 minutes, at least on cottons anyway. Right. Then you got pre-wash, and what that will do is add on a short wash before the main wash. I don't think it heats. Don't believe it heats anyway. It might do, but if it does, it will heat to 30. It is quite short. It will end with an intermediate spin before the main wash starts. So realistically, during a full load, by the time it's finished soaking the load wet, it's then draining, ready for the intermediate spin. It's not great. You can also combine these options along with the easy iron option as well. Right, we've also got delay end, and this is delay end, so that means that when we select 4 hours, because it says 3 hours and 9 minutes, it will delay the start of the cycle for 51 minutes, then we'll proceed to do the entire wash, and then be done and finished in 4 hours time. Anyway, delay end can go up to 19 hours. Which means that on some cycles you can only have a time delay of around 15 hours. That's not great. Anyway. Then we got this. It says 15 quick wash. It can only be selected, show you, on the cotton cycle. Press it, and it'll come up with 15 minutes, cold wash, 3 rinses, 800 spin. Now this allows you to wash up to 2 kilograms of very lightly soiled items. And to be fair, while it's set on the cottons, you could put cottons and synthetics and even some delicates in, all on the same cycle. If we press 15 quick again, it becomes 20 minutes. And we now have a max temperature of 20 degrees. By the way, rinses can't be changed. 800 spin is what it's limited to, and all the final spins are all 3 minutes long, and there are no other options. Also, load size doesn't change, it's still only 2 kilograms. Press it again, and now we've got 30 minutes, up to 30 degrees, 3 rinses, short 800 spin, still 2 kilograms. 40 minutes, and you go up to 40 degrees with 3 rinses, 800 short 800 spin, max load 2 kilograms. 50 minutes, max temperature of 40, 3 rinses and a short 800 spin. Again, max load 2 kilograms, and then press it once more, and we've got 1 hour or 60 minutes, and the max temperature is, of course, just 40. Why not 60? Three rinses that you can't change, and a short 800 RPM spin. So the spin performance of all them cycles is pathetically poor. I mean, it's alright on the 15-minute cycle, but why would you select a 40, 50 or even 60-minute wash? Maybe up to half an hour, I get that. Makes sense, but not that. Especially as you'll see later on, a really good cycle that's around an hour long. Right. Anyway, move over. Then we've got synthetics. Max load isn't quite half. It's 3.5 kilogram. You still get all your options. You know, soak, intensive, pre-wash, and you can combine them. And you still got easy iron as well. We've got variable spin up to 1200 RPM. It's still a fairly lengthy spin. It presets 2 rinses, but it does do 2 deep rinses. And of course you can up the rinse count as well, as you wish. We've also got a max temperature of 60. As you can see as well, changing temperature doesn't affect the time. In fact, changing the temperature on any of these cycles, apart from cottons, doesn't affect the time. Also, the load sensor only is active in cottons. It's not active in any other cycle. So whatever you see time-wise on there is going to be the same whatever load you put in. Then we've got the denim cycle. Now this is designed to obviously wash denim jeans. So it washes in a higher water level because it's basically protecting the denim, but it still needs to be quite thorough washing. So it's still a thorough washing program. It has 3 rinses, which can be changed, and a short 800 spin to reduce creasing. It presets at 30. But strangely, you can go up to 60 degrees with it. Now, oddly, I find that the denim program is quite good if you want to wash bedding, but obviously you won't have the full length spin, or duvets. Yeah, duvets and pillows are quite good on this program since you can have 60 degrees and you still get the higher wash level. And you've got all the options as well, you know. You soak, you intensive, and your pre-wash, as well as easy iron, so they're all there. So Staying Away is designed for washing 4 kilogram of cotton or synthetic laundry. It ends with a 1200 synthetic spin. It does preset at 40, but you can have up to 60. It does 3 rinses as standard, but again that can also all be changed, and you can have whatever options you want. Don't worry about that. Dark Garment is designed to wash both cotton and synthetic dark items together. Now what you'll do, it will do a short main wash and then followed by 4 rinses preset, and this is designed to remove as much detergent out of your dark so it doesn't show up and it doesn't fade them, keeping them darker and duller, I suppose, for longer. Right, max spin is 1200 since it's a synthetics program, so it does a synthetic spin. Max temperature up to 40 to protect your darks. Yeah, you can change your rinse if you want, and you can have intensive or pre-wash, but there's no soak option, and that's because you don't want your darks to bleed, so soak option is not available. You can have easy iron if you wish though. Then you got daily wash. Now this is designed for washing 4 kilogram, half a load of well, daily laundry. Basically, normal sort of laundry can go on this. It's your everyday stuff, your shirts, your underwear, your trousers, whatever goes on this cycle. Right? Load it no more than halfway, obviously, in the drum. Max temperature up to 60 degrees. I'd recommend just leaving it at 2 rinses as well. You can up the rinse count if you want, of course, or have 1. And it will end with a 1400 spin. It's not a cotton spin, no. It's a bit like a cross between the synthetics and cotton spin. So it's a bit shorter than normal cottons, but obviously faster than synthetics. But overall, it gives good spin performance. And like I said, this is probably the program you're going to want to use the most, since it's just over an hour. You've got all the flexibility as well. You've got all the options that you want. Right. Then we've got Eco Drum Clean. It's preset at 70, which uniquely, obviously, you can't select on any other cycle other than this. 2 rinses and 400 spin. None of which you can change. Of course, there's no other options as well. And what it will do, it will fill it with water and will spin that water to the highest places within the tub that you can't see to remove grime and grub. And if you've put a citric acid in, descaler in, if you put descaler in, it will also get rid of all the lime scale. It's also built up in hard to reach places. Economically, because of course it doesn't require any bleach to sterilize it, since it's using heat. Now, if you're washing regularly at hot temperatures at either 60 or 95 regularly, it will not tell you to use this program. You can use it whenever you want, but it won't come up. There is, however, a little icon hidden away here. It looks like a little drum. And that is your Eco Drum Clean reminder. Now, you can carry on using the washers if you wish, but it will flash, right, to remind you. It will come up after approximately 40 cycles if it's used on lower temperatures. So likewise, if you're always using 60 or 95 degree cycles a lot, it will actually never come up. I would recommend it though, still using it every 40 cycles, even if you are using hotter temperatures, just to give it a really good thorough cleaning. So when I first got this machine, it was disgusting. This Eco Drum Clean had to go on, I think, a total 7 times before I even put any washing in, and even then I think I put it on a few more times after that. You've got rinse and spin. Now this is a Cotton's final rinse and final spin. It's preset to 1, but of course you can up how many rinses you want. So if you've got 1, you just do the final fabric softener rinse with the full length spin. But if you want more rinses, and you want rinses, not rinse, you can add them on. You've also got easy iron. You've also got variable spin, so you can lower this spin if you wish. So if you are washing delicates or synthetics, you can select 4, 800, 1200, etc. Then you got spin only. Now this is designed for re-spinning your items. So the idea is that you may have done a wash with a rinse hold or no spin, for example, and all your items now need re-spinning because it's soaking wet. Or you may have done like a 15-minute wash and find your items too wet, so therefore you would want to re-spin them so they're drier. This has a major problem though, and it's plagued Samsungs ever since. For some reason, on these Samsungs with the digital inverter, it doesn't affect the brush models, just the digital inverter models. That includes the current Series 5 as well. It will just limit the spin for no reason to 873 RPM. Yeah, I don't get why. Apparently it's something to do with it detecting how much water is in the load. So if it's full of water, it will do the full 1400. If it's got no water coming out, it will just do 873 RPM. And I don't get why. Because at the end of the day, when I'm re-spinning stuff from a short 800 RPM, there will be barely any water coming out. But not until it's gone to like 1000 or 12 or 1400 RPM. And it's really, really annoying. Right, then we've got the hand wash cycle. It's a short wash cycle with a high water level, gentle wash action. Obviously, it's limited to 30 degrees. Oh, so you can go up to... Obviously, it's limited to 40 degrees to prevent damage to your hand wash only items. And has a short 400 RPM spin to prevent any damage to them. It is a short main wash as well. It's basically the wool cycle, just with a much shorter main wash. Then you got the wool cycle, again no options, but it's designed for washing 2 kilogram of wool items up to 40 degrees, no more than 40 because obviously it will then damage the wool and start felting. 2 rinses, but you can go up to 3. 800 spin, it's a fairly lengthy 800 spin though, it's not like the quick wash. Again, high water level, gentle wash action. Right, then we've got baby care, so this is like a cotton synthetic hybrid thing. Max load 4 kilogram, so it presets a pre-wash which can be taken off. Yeah, and will preset 4 rinses. It's effectively synthetic cycle, it's a bit of a weird one, synthetics cottons, but what it will do is ensure it will get to 80 degrees and hold for 10 minutes to eliminate all bacteria, and of course it will do 4 rinses, so it will, you know, thoroughly rinse your baby's clothes. It does wash in a more higher water level than cottons. It's got a cotton's wash rhythm, so it's quite intensive. There's no load detection, so it will take 2 hours regardless, because that's the only problem with, say, normal cotton 95. If it detects a small load, it only just about hit 80 in the wash time. It won't hold it before draining. And you have all the options as well. You can even change the temperature. It presets at 95, but you can have cold if you want, which isn't good for antibacterial practices. Then you got outdoor care. So this is designed for washing your sportswear, your jackets, your Gore-Tex, all of that. It's it can use it with re-impregnation as well. So it uses a moderately high water level, sort of delicate wash action. Limits the temperature to 40. Max load is only 2 kilogram. Only has 3 rinses for some reason, maxed out. 1200 spin to ensure actually good spin results, because they can hold a lot of water, of course. And there's no options. It works. Then we've got Super Eco Wash. Not really about it, other than it's, you know, designed to save your energy, I suppose. Presets at cold, 2 rinses and 1200 RPM. It's quite a lengthy cycle. They still carry it on today anyway. I think they call it intensive cold nowadays. Anyway, max load, half load, 4 kilogram for cottons. Max temperature, despite being cold, can go up to 40. And despite when you're having 2 rinses, you can have up to 5. You can have any options you want. It's just a really bizarre cycle. Now I'll just show you as well this. It says that there's a 10-year warranty on the motor. It does directly tell you there it's on the motor. If you were to buy this machine brand new, you get a 2-year normal warranty on everything, but the 10-year warranty is specifically on the motor, since it should theoretically never go wrong. It is very true, it should theoretically never go wrong, but in the case that it does, you're covered for the first 10 years. In fact, truthfully speaking, both LG with their direct drive and this Samsung with their motors, effectively it's more like an infinite warranty. It should never go wrong, but if it does, you can have a free replacement. Bear in mind, it would have to be a free replacement under the brand, so your best bet is if you did know somebody very well who can actually diagnose a proper faulty motor on one of these is for them to then tell you to get Samsung out to then replace it. Right, inside the turn drawer, split into 3 compartments. We've got the pre-wash here, the main wash here, and the fabric softener in the middle. I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot how small the dispenser is. I'll just show you. So if I was to put in half a cap, 50 millilitres of fabric softener in the middle, yeah, up to the max line, you might be struggling to get more than around 50 millilitres in. I think it gets about 60 in, but even so, that's not a great deal. There's 40 ml of powder. It's taking up about 1/5 of the space, and that is because you can only fit around 200 millilitres of powder in the main wash, and around 100, maybe only 75 ml in the pre-wash section, if you of course select the pre-wash option. Door lights come on. Main wash light is now flashing. They will disappear and extinguish as they go along. What phase it's in will flash at the time. It's like the pre-wash, of course, the light will come on first and work its way across.
It's really big. It's really big.
let's give this out of 10 then. Well, there's a few problems with it. Number one is washing ability. It's not great. Two is rinsing ability. It's not great. On cottons, to be fair, once you start using the other cycles, they're okay. To be fair, nowadays, rinsing ability seems to be a bit better with obviously our modern detergents, since obviously they're designed to obviously be rinsed in like 2 rinses or less or something like that. But back in the day, this wasn't great. 3, reliability. This is only 11 years old because I've got it. Had it was in normal use, it would have been gone by either the following year or 3 years after that, because board issues were plagued. These would constantly, just like my 7kg, lock up for the motor. It's actually to do with the relays in the board here. The same relays in for the inverter, so unfortunately always cause problems. Or you get 3E, which is the other common problem with them. The other common problem is obviously then the spider snapping, again after around 3 to 7 years. Again, it all depends on how you use it and how you look after it, whether you're using the short 15-minute cycle or whether you're actually using proper cycles. Right. Other problems. It limits the spin too often. If you put it, like I said, if you put it on spin only and you have a load that's pretty much dry, it will just limit the spin even if it's balanced. If you run an all-wash cycle, it will regularly limit the spin as well. So that's a big issue. Now, if you notice there, it's quite clever. So it weighed the load and it came up with 2 hours 2, and then the entire load was actually done in around 1 hour 30 because it will redetect it later on. There is only 3 levels of detection: full, half, and mini or quarter load. But then it doesn't activate on any other cycles. It would take a few more generations before that would start appearing on all, like, say, synthetics, etc. So that's a little bit annoying. Options wise, they're okay. You got plenty of options there. The pre-wash is a little bit pathetic, but so is all Korean and Chinese stuff. They always have been. Easy iron works, but it still leaves things quite creased for you know, what the function is supposed to obviously do. Other than that though, you know, it's okay. The trouble is also the price. Comparing at the time, you could buy a Bosch, and a relatively top of the range, well, mid-range Bosch, for the price of this. You could still get an 8kg Bosch for maybe the same, maybe just a little bit more money. And for me, if you're comparing it to that, then it just walks all over it. In fact, it actually walks all over a lot of stuff, really, of course. But then also, if you're comparing the Samsung to, say, this Indesit that's right next to me, or the Beko, or, you know, whatever else, it wasn't great. You know, comparing it to them, the Indesit gave you more for less money. Yeah. So, when I kind of got this years ago, when I was going to review it, I was going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. So today I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Nothing's actually changed. It's not entirely terrible, but for how much you're paying, it would have been better, you know, being priced cheaper into the market. Therefore, it would have looked better on paper, at least. But Samsung couldn't do that. I don't know why. So yeah, sticking with that. 6.5 out of 10. Right, let me know down below what you think of this. We'll see the comment section. Also, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more washing machine content if you haven't done so already. I'll see you guys in another video. So, bye for now.